What is up, everybody? This is Stephen Breach coming to you here today as we're cruising down the road. Lot of stuff came out this weekend. Basically, John Cena, he's already on the road working SmackDowns for the WWE, and then out of the middle of nowhere, we had The Rock, who just happened to be in Denver for the weekend, show up at SmackDown, coming out with McAfee, of course, going after Austin Theory. A lot of people thinking that, there is some sort of a future for The Rock in WWE because although he does make appearances for them here and there, a lot of times they're kind of few and far between. Some of them always don't really make sense, but when he does, it's normally setting something up. And, as of right now, there's nothing really on the stove for The Rock because of the writing strike and as well as the actor strike. He is a producer, but if there is really nobody to produce, he's done, with his $7 Productions, they've done, what am I looking for? Reality TV before, but it's not really his forte. But if he's not going to be going out there doing something like the Young Rock or the next Fast and the Furious movie at the time, why not get him in the ring and get him in front of some fans that will translate to bigger box offices or bigger fan base for him, to take from WWE and move it over. I think that honestly that's one of the biggest reasons he came back to WWE, to do the whole guest host at WrestleMania 27, which then led to him main eventing WrestleMania 28 and 29. At that time, I think is when he joined the whole Fast and the Furious for the whole Fast 5, and that sort of rode his next big waves of movies. Let's be honest, when it really comes down to it, he was in that Fast X movie, but only at the end, setting up him coming back. And some of the movies that he had before that, like Skyscraper, they made money, but they weren't that good. It wasn't like people were really knocking down the door for the next big Rock movie. Hobbs and Shaw was a movie that made money, but kind of the same thing. People weren't really going to be lining up to see Hobbs and Shaw 2. But I think that honestly, if he can get in, wrestling fans will thank him by, going in to see that next thing. But last year was a really big surprise. Cody went to WrestleMania and didn't get the big win against Roman Reigns. A lot of people think the guaranteed match would be Cody versus Roman in a rematch. Some people thought we would see it at SummerSlam, but then Cody had the whole deal with Brock Lesnar. Some people thought that they wanted to get Roman Reigns the record of having the championship for 1,000 days. Anytime you can get a record like that, you do it. Some people think that they want him to pass Hulk Hogan. Some people say they want him to pass Bruno Sammartino. I don't know. Maybe there's a fear if, Roman loses the belt, he'll lose his drive to do wrestling the amount that he does, and he'll go off to Hollywood and try to make some movies and see where it goes from there. And they'll lose one of the big stars that they have on the main roster today. Honestly, in my head, you got to kind of capitalize. That's the pumpkin that I was looking for right there. I just found it. I was looking for that pumpkin. I thought it was down the street more, but it's right there. So I gotta go find out how to get that pumpkin. I'm sorry, but one of the matches that I was really thinking, trying to capitalize on making WrestleMania 40 the biggest, the best there is. We've talked about this for a long time, to the point where I don't really want to talk about it anymore. Roman Reigns versus Rock. He said that it was a handshake agreement, it was a done deal, and then it just honestly kind of fell apart. I keep running through my mind what somebody would have been doing, around WrestleMania, where he wouldn't be able to do the Monday Night Raws that led up to it. He wouldn't be able to do the actual event itself, and I can't think of any big thing that's coming out anytime now. It's not like he had to go do that cameo for Fast X, to be able to miss WrestleMania. So I don't know why it would have been The Rock telling WWE he couldn't do WrestleMania. Did they really bump him because Cody came back and they wanted Cody to be the guy? Could WWE have had the balls to be able to tell him that they didn't want to do it? You know, the one match that I think that would be kind of playing off the anniversary of WrestleMania. I mean, I can remember when WrestleMania, I think I was too young to understand WrestleMania 10 being a big thing, because it was 10th anniversary of WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania without Hulk Hogan. I do remember them trying to, you know, think of a way to make WrestleMania 20, the Return to the Garden, the biggest WrestleMania of all time. I definitely remember 30 when buying our tickets, thinking that they would try to make 30 the biggest one. And it certainly was fun, and it certainly was awesome. You can't really think of when they sat down and wrote what the script was going to be for WrestleMania 30, ended up being that way. Nobody would have saw CM Punk quitting, forcing him to put Daniel Bryan into the main event. None of that was the plan. It just happened to be what they pulled the trigger with that day, because they thought it was the best WrestleMania that they could put out. WrestleMania 40. You really can't get somebody from the golden age out there. You're not going to be able to get Hulk Hogan in the ring for a main event. It would be fun, but I don't think it makes sense, and I don't want to see the guy get killed. But if you were able to put out The Rock, John Cena, and Roman Reigns in a three-way, I mean, you would have your PG era, you would have your Today era, you would have your Attitude era. I don't know, I guess the PG era is kind of rough, but your Attitude, Ruthless Aggression, that's honestly what I was looking for. Then when it comes down to it, I think that honestly Cena will lose to anybody. I think he'll do almost anything he's told. The Rock is I think I'm going to say this, but then I'm going to play off of it, but I think he's going to have to be convinced it's the right thing for business. Yeah, I think when The Rock shows up, I think that he thinks he's the biggest thing there is, and even though there's family in the ring with Roman Reigns, I don't think he's going to want to go down without getting something out of it. He put over Cena at 29 when, a lot of people thought that was going to be his last match. And as of right now, I think it is his last real match. But I mean, you could have Roman stack them both in the ring if you really wanted to make him look that strong. I don't think it's the best thing that there is for business, but I don't know. As of right now, I think that's the biggest match that you could do, and it kind of makes sense with these guys both being back in there. I know that some people think that it makes more sense to split them up and do two separate matches, but I think honestly you put them all in the same one against Roman. You just gotta find something for Cody to do, but I guess that's why they made that other belt. I think it's a pretty good damn match and a pretty good damn idea.